Hello, beautiful souls. It's Karen here at Soul Magic Inspirations. And I was guided this morning. I wasn't going to do this sort of reading, but there you go. So this is just a chat about series where I talk about various things. And the topic today is, are you afraid of death? Question mark, don't be. So I got guided to do this. So I just want to say the Psalm 23.4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod, your staff, they comfort me. So this is a famous line from the Bible, talking about death, talking about fear. I'm not a particularly religious person, but maybe this is because we're celebrating Easter. A lot of people in the world celebrating Easter, which is talking about the resurrection of Jesus. So maybe that's why. And maybe some of you are going through loss right now. And if you are going through a loss, I am sorry for your loss. I really am. It's something we all experience here on earth. We all go through loss to varying degrees. I myself have lost several people. 3 people in the last year, you could say. A couple of years rather. My dad, my mum, who were very elderly, and it was their time. And I, accepted that it was their time to go. And then I lost an ex-daughter-in-law as well, who sadly was only 33, but she'd had a long-term health issue. And again, although it was a shock, in some ways it was a relief because she'd suffered so much in her short life. And she's at peace now, that's the way I see it. And I lost two different mother-in-laws because I've been married twice. And many pets. I've lost, small animals like hamsters, goldfish, guinea pigs, rabbits and cats. And my kids grew up with animals, and I think it is a very good way to teach children about loss, because small animals don't live very long, and it is something that we all have to deal with at some point in our lives. And I think if they learn to deal with that at a young age, it can really help, I feel. These are my beliefs, these are my opinions. I'm not saying I'm right about things. Everyone has their own opinions, but I just wanted to share some things. So my own beliefs really helped me get through these times. As I said, I'm not religious, but I am a spiritual person. And for me, that is seeing us all as human and not allowing the differences we have to matter, as we're all part of the human race and we're all different. And I hope that one day we can all live together as a human race and stop looking at the differences and just look at our similarities and be as one and work together. But unfortunately, I feel religion particularly and other things can be very divisive. Like politics is, all sorts of things in humanity. It divides us as humanity. But that is another topic. So today I'm talking about death, and I know a lot of people do not like talking about it. And no one wants to think about it. No one wants to think they're going to die. Obviously, I'm not being like that. I'm not being pessimistic about that. I'm not saying, oh, I'm going to die, woe is me. Unfortunately, there are people that do live that way, but I don't think it's any way to live. We're all going to die, it's part of the cycle of life, if you like. We are born and we live a life. Sometimes it's long, sometimes it's short, and then we die. So for many years in my working life, for about 20 years, I worked with the elderly as a support worker. So I was working with people 60 plus, which is my age now, and some people were way into their 90s. I think the oldest person I worked with nearly got to 100. So that was a traditional time, like as we see the end of life, the elderly, we see that as our, most time that people die. But sadly, I know many people that do not have a long life. and we lose people too soon, like I did my daughter-in-law, who was only 33. And I know people that lose children, babies, and nobody wants to outlive their child. And that's tough. And I have friends that have been through this, and it's a very painful and heartbreaking thing. And I'm not saying it's easy. And we ask, why has this happened? And we try to make sense of it. So these are my opinions and beliefs. I believe that before we are born, our soul decides what lessons to learn and how it wants to learn them, and who with, as we may have karma to work through with other souls, and sometimes we meet the same souls again and again in different scenarios to learn lessons or different aspects of a lesson. And the souls that died young chose that experience before they were born for their soul's growth and the growth of other family members. I know it's tough to hear, and you may not want to believe that, but it is tough on earth. This life on earth can be tough, and there can be many hard lessons to learn. But I believe we live many lifetimes to evolve our soul, and I believe the ones that have the toughest lives can sometimes be the very old souls who have lived many lifetimes and experiences, are very wise and have ancient knowledge. When I worked with the elderly, some were in couples, and they had been together 50 years or so, and my parents had been together 60 years. They married very young. A lot of us younger people will not experience those long relationships, as the world has changed and people have changed. However, when you've been with someone a long time, it's a bit of a security blanket. Even if you're not happy, it makes you feel safe. And very often it was the man that would die first, because women tend to live longer. In the most part, I don't know why, it's statistics. But what I found was the bereaved person always wanted to talk about their loved one. And that was a big thing of what I would do. I would open up the conversation. Obviously, if they didn't want to talk about it, I wouldn't push that. But I do feel part of my work was to help them and to talk about it. And their faces would light up, and they wanted somebody to talk to. Some of them had nobody, because a lot of people are scared to bring it up, scared to maybe upset them or make them cry. But I feel it's a very healing thing to do for somebody, to allow them that space to talk about their loved one, because, just because they're no longer here physically, they are in your heart. I believe that. I feel statistically, as I said, women do tend to live longer. And I feel part of the reason could be because a lot of women are open to talking about their feelings with other women and their partners. And especially in the older generation, many men, and I know my dad was like this, would keep their feelings inside, and it would lead to dis-ease because they didn't open up or share feelings. And in these old-fashioned relationships, very often it was a man who dealt with the bills, the finances. It was for my parents, and many of the people I met, it was the same. So not only if the woman was the one left behind, not only did they lose a husband, but they didn't know what to do. They were quite helpless, some of them. They didn't know what to do. They'd let their husband to do that. And so I think it's important, if you're in any sort of relationship, to share those skills, to share those tasks that we have to do. So neither person is in the dark. But a lot of women were in the dark, and they didn't know what to do. And some had families who would help and step in. Others would have complete breakdowns. And other people would learn what to do. They would become strong. They would become empowered. And a lot of them did really well. They thrived. They didn't go downhill. A lot of them did thrive. And I knew many women in their 80s who were very strong, very independent, who'd had very happy relationships with their partners, and they lost them, but they carried on and created a life for themselves. And they were amazing. I just really admired them and respected them. They were amazing, strong women. But it's different for everybody. But it is a choice. I feel it's always a choice. How you react, how you see things. So unfortunately, historically, there's been a lot of fear around death, and the story of Jesus shows us that death is transformation. That is how I choose to see it. You only have to look at nature. In the winter, everything dies down. The flowers, the plants, the trees, it all looks dead. But in springtime, it all comes to life again as if by magic. And I believe we live many lives, and our soul, our divine spark, whatever you want to call it, never dies. Our body does. The body is our shell. And when I spoke to people about their passed down loved ones, I would say to them, I felt the body was like a cocoon, like the caterpillar goes into a cocoon and emerges as a butterfly. And I don't know if you've ever seen a dead person. I have. And it goes like marble. It's literally, obviously there's nothing alive anymore. And it is just like a shell, just like a cocoon. And to me, the soul is like the butterfly. And the butterfly leaves the body, the spirit, the essence of who you are. And it becomes free like the butterfly. And I choose to believe that we reincarnate in many ways, not only in bodies, but in nature, in plants, in rocks, in trees. They're living sentient beings if you choose to, look into that. And on Earth, we incarnate many times, and in other dimensions and different life forms, on other planets, etc. These are my beliefs. I'm not saying I'm right. We all have our own beliefs. It's what you feel in your heart that matters, what you feel is true. If you want to find out more about these different things, I recommend Dolores Cannon's book series. She's written many books, but she did a book series, A Convoluted Universe. There's 5 books in that series alone. She was a hypnotherapist, and she invented a different form of hypnosis where she would connect with their subconscious mind. She worked with thousands of clients over many decades and found out a lot of amazing information. And if you want to have your eyes open, your mind open, it's a really good starting point. So there has been a lot of fear in the world. So F, false. E, evidence. A, appearing. R, real. False evidence appearing real in the world media over the past few years, pushing fear of death. This has triggered so many people to be afraid, to live in fear, which is the opposite of love. And love is the highest vibration in the universe. It is the answer. So if you start feeling fearful, come back to love, come back to your heart center, focus on love. Focus on that self-love, that love for yourself, love for others, love for and compassion for others who are going through difficult times in the world. Don't be fearful. Turn that fear into love. Fear stops you living, and all we ever have is now, the moment we're living in now. We cannot change our past. Learn the lessons and move on and leave it in the past. Let it go. Don't bring it with you. Plan for the future, but live in the moment. That's all we ever have when you think about it. So don't let fear take over your life. It stops you living. And, make the most of this life. Live in joy, live in abundance. You're deserving, you're worthy. Live in love. Have compassion for yourself and others. If you have lost someone, I am so sorry for your loss. And I know it's not easy, and I'm not saying it's easy. But I believe when you love someone, they are always in your heart. They never leave you. And you can communicate with them anytime through your heart. And that is what I used to say to people I worked with that had lost somebody. Connect with them in your heart. Light a candle, say a prayer, connect with them through your heart. You will always connect with them. Because I believe the people we love, we never lose them truly. Okay, they're not in the physical, but they're with you, okay? And it is important that when you are grieving, to feel those feelings. There are 5 main stages of grief. And you can experience them in many different orders. This isn't necessarily the order that you will experience it in. So we have denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And it's important to feel those feelings, to work through those feelings. Do not try and suppress those feelings. Feel the feelings. Feel the feelings, because you'll feel so much better. Moving through those feelings is not always easy. I know that. I've been there. But you can do it. And once you come out the other side, you'll feel so much better. And it's a part of self-healing. And honour your feelings, always. Don't deny your feelings. As I said, I believe death is a transformation to one stage of being to another. Our soul essence, our divine spark, never dies. So I'm sending you lots of love and blessings right now. So I want you to pick some cards to just give you some uplifting messages. And as you see, I've got some ascended masters here. I forgot to mention that. So we've got Vishnu, the Indian god, the protector of the universe. We've got Mother Mary, compassion. We've got Jesus, talking about unconditional love, forgiveness. And Kuan Yin, again, compassion for the world. So have that compassion for self. Have that compassion for others. You don't know what somebody's going through. So let's get your messages. So we've got break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Yes, we need to break those ancestral chains, those patterns of behaviours, those negative ways of being that awareness that we create our own reality. Come into that awareness, heal yourself and rewrite the future. Envision the future you want for yourself and your family, your children. And we've got Grandmother, Grandmother of Jesus. This wasn't planned. This came through just by coincidence. So we've got seed in the light, laying foundations, divine plan. So there is a divine plan. Work in the light, spread your light in the world, anchor the light into Mother Gaia. You'll really help uplift the planet and other people at this time. Leap, you go first and the universe will catch you. So don't be afraid to make changes, to take that leap of faith in your life, okay? Life is for living. Don't let fear hold you back. Inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. How beautiful is that? As I was saying, tune into the portal of your heart. You connect with Source there, with the universe, with God. Connect with your family, passed down ones. Connect with your guides, your angels. Always tune into your heart space. Don't let fear rule your life. And we've got the age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. So yes, anchoring that light, work in the light. We all have a shadow, and sometimes we need to look at that shadow and to bring that into the light, to shine the light of illumination into the darkness, into the shadow. But you know why you're here. You're on a mission to spread this light through the world at this time. And pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So how beautiful is that? There is so much light in this reading. And those of you that are watching, you are part of this. Spread your light. Become the light. And your vibration is rising. You can't step out of fear into love. Okay, and you will be able to spread the light to others. So that's beautiful. So we've got Cathedral of Light, stubborn attitudes, extending the olive branch, artistry. So maybe some of you are very creative. Maybe you're going to spread the light through your art. Music, painting, drawing, writing. There are many stubborn attitudes in the world, and we need to break down this stubbornness and open up people. And it says extend the olive branch. So don't be judgmental. Be in that energy of compassion and love and light. And we've got Lord Melchizedek, indecision, ego-based actions, lifestyle change. So we very often are stuck in our ego. We make decisions by ego. And you could be at a phase feeling indecisive right now. But tap into your heart space. We had that, the heart portal. Tap into that, your intuition, your higher self, to make those changes in your life, to step away from ego-based actions. and act with love, in the energy of love. And we've got the universal Merkaba, a sacred purpose. You have the answer, lucid dreaming. So we can use the Merkaba symbol to protect our energy. So always remember, protect your energy, protect your space, have those boundaries, okay, to protect yourself from negative people, situations, or energies. And be in your purpose. You have the answers within. And there may be a lot of dream messages you're getting, so maybe keep a dream journal right now. And we have Light Seeker, Light Quest, Visionary, Mental Strength and Resilience. How beautiful is that? There's so much light in this reading. There is so much light coming through here. So you're on a light quest. You're a light seeker. You're going to open up to more light yourself. And by doing this, you're going to spread the light to others. And you have the mental strength to do this and the resilience to do this, to see this through. So that's beautiful. And light activation, how beautiful is that? Evolution of spirit, action in the plans, transcendence. So yes, you're going through some sort of transcendence. Your spirit is evolving right now, and there will be plans of action for you to take place. So be kind to yourself, do that inner work, do that healing. If you're grieving right now, honour the process, feel your feelings and go through that. And don't be fearful of life. And we've got Archangel Michael. How beautiful is that? Heart of a warrior, divine protection, synchronicity. I love it when Archangel Michael comes through. I work with him a lot. He's a very strong energy archangel to work with for protection and for cutting cords. So call on his energy to do this, to help you protect your energy, to cut cords from the past, from negative people, situations, places, to, really give yourself that cleansing. And to me, it's confirming you have the heart of a warrior and you are divinely protected. And look out for synchronistic events in your life. We have Cosmic Gateway. Insecurities, connection with others, refocusing. So open up that Cosmic Gateway through your chakra centers. Connect to Mother Gaia through your Earth Star. And connect to the universe, to God Source, through your soul star chakra, and work on the chakras to connect that channel of spirit, to connect with others, other light workers, and build that confidence in yourself. Refocus on what it is that you're trying to achieve. And we've got well-being, self-preservation, service to spirit, youthful experience. So always put your own well-being first. Protect yourself, your own energy, look after yourself, nurture yourself. Be in a good energy, before you go helping others, because you can't help others if you are defeated or deflated or depleted of energy. So recharge yourself, be in that good energy before you give to others. Beautiful. So now we've got my Healing Heart Oracle and some beautiful messages here for you. So treat yourself to something special. That's that self-nurturing, self-love. You are a special, one-of-a-kind, unique. So know this about yourself and honour that in yourself. And start a journal. Write down your thoughts and feelings, honestly. So maybe start journaling to really own your own feelings, to express yourself freely with non-judgment from others, and open up your heart to yourself. Deep cleanse, release the past hurts, thoughts, behaviours. Yeah, as I said, do that releasing, work with crystals, cord cutting, work on your chakras, use sage, incense, oils, go in nature, whatever helps you to cleanse and release. And be kind to yourself, be compassionate, be your own best friend. Yes, always be in that energy of self-love, self-compassion, and honour yourself. And forgive yourself and others. Yeah, nobody is perfect. So always forgive yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Forgive yourself. We all make mistakes. That's why we're here. We're only human. So this is another one of my decks. So it's Guidance for Ascension, Grief and Loss. And all these decks are in my shop, my online shop. So we've got call on Archangel Michael to cut cords of attachment to people, places, situations that are negative or toxic. So again, double confirmation. Archangel Michael is waiting for your call. You know, you have to call them in. They do not come in. You have to ask for their help, and he will help you to do that. And if you've lost someone, write them a letter about how you feel and then burn it. So yeah, it's like journaling. Maybe write a letter to someone about how you truly felt, how you're feeling about that loss, and just burn it, just release it, just let it go, but feel those feelings, as I said. And if someone has suddenly left your life or earthly life, know it was their choice from before they were born to learn certain lessons for their soul's evolution. So as I said, you know, it was their choice, okay, to learn certain lessons. And connect with others. Find your soul tribe, who you can be yourself with. So, you know, who do you resonate with? Find those people that resonate, that lift you up, that don't drag you down. And take a chance. Do not be afraid of changing your life if you feel stuck. So, you know, we had that leap card. So I think the universe is nudging you to maybe take some sort of chance in your life, some sort of leap of faith. And we've got sanctuary. Find a peaceful place to go in your mind, in your home or an area you live. So find that inner sanctuary. It can be in your mind, in your heart, or it could be a place in nature or something like that. So find your own safe place to be. And stop the negative talk, be positive. So, you know, we all do this to ourselves, don't we? Those negative thoughts, patterns and behaviours in our own head. So try to get out of that habit and be more positive. Speak positive about yourself, about your life, about what you want for yourself, because you will attract that in. And your final message, be open-hearted, love yourself, have compassion for self and others. So how beautiful is that? I'm going to read it again. Be open-hearted, love yourself, have compassion for self and others. So as I said, be in that energy of love, not fear, because love is the answer. And love is strong and powerful. And if you're in that energy of love, you know, nothing can defeat you, because you are loved, you are love. So I hope that gives some of you some comfort. Sending you love and blessings. Take care. Bye for now.